Sagittarian Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your 7-card draw, What Do I Need read for this full moon to new moon, January into February 2021. I am your reader. Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle, now on Patreon Drawing the Circle. Having a field day over there. My creativity has been given the freedom it needs, and Sagis understand that. Of course you do, because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal, and let's have fun, even though it's a shadow read. I'm doing this the day before the full moon, but we'll get to that in a minute, because if you are new to the channel, a 7-card draw is just one card from 7 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about a specific astrological timeline. This is not a timeless read, this is a timed read, but certainly you can go back and look at the old ones and see if it matches up. You know, maybe there's some stuff to be seen in hindsight there. So let's look at that astrological timeline tomorrow at the time of this recording. The full moon on Monday, January 17th, 6:48 p.m. Eastern Time. The moment it goes full, it also goes void, of course. If you know what that is, do your magic before then. Oh, I forgot to turn the central heating off. Let me do that now. And that's why the gods created video editing software. Mercury is retrograde, by the way, and is going to be through this full moon to doing this with waning moon. So yeah, that's why these readings give you what you need, right? So like we said, just said, the moon goes full, void, of course, at the same time. But then we're looking at the waning moon, the letting go, the releasing, the forgiving, the shadow work, however you want to do it. The new moon on Tuesday, February 1st. Imbolc, my pagans, my witches, second spoke in the pagan wheel of the year. We'll be doing stuff, particularly on Patreon. We'll be doing stuff, full moons, new moons, Sabbats on my Patreon. It's evolving quickly. But to say that happens at 12:45 a.m., so really 45 minutes after midnight Eastern Time. By the way, I am in New York. And of course, that is the new moon in Aquarius. So it is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. 5 out of 7 of these is a good read for a general, I would think. But that's why you want to check your other signs, maybe to get a different point of view about a particular thing happening in the timeline, or maybe something else not related that's going on simultaneously, because who's just got one thing going on, one storyline at any given time? So, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I'm already doing it to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can for my Sagis, because I have a lot of Sag friends that I adore. Please take a nice deep breath. 10 minutes of exposition. Let's get into the divination as I call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of the General Assembly, the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, spirit animals, totems, as well as the pantheons of all pantheons. For the Sagittarian Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sun, watching this video, receiving this reading, not all of them, just the ones called here. I don't care about my numbers anymore. I'm having a field day. Like every Sagittarian should, I would think. What is the dominant 8th chakra archetype for them? Changing the electromagnetics, giving the patterning, the spiritual lessons, attracting and repelling to them what they need for this full to new, the witch archetype. Now I will say this was a blank card that Carolyn Mace does with Carolyn Mace archetype. She gives you a bunch, because there's no way, if we had a card for every archetype, I would need one of those cranky turny things, like a bingo, to spit one out. Cranky turny things. That has another meaning right off the top of my head we're not going to go into. So the witch, the shadow and the light. The shadow is the toxic, the light is the healthy, right? The lead to gold, the alchemy, the surrendering, the letting go, the healing. So she doesn't have anything printed there, but I am a witch. I think I could lecture. I do lecture for hours on this stuff. Monday nights, Craft of the Wise on the Drawing the Circle Productions Facebook page, turning them into the Malpods, the podcast those now. The Witch, it's all about how you use your wisdom. There are 9 families of archetypes. I would put, depending on the Witch, 1 foot in the Wisdom family archetype and the other, the Divine family archetype, because it does depend upon the Witch individually that way. So, you know, the Wicked Witch or the Good Witch. Elphaba or Glenda, right? I mean, that's an obvious conclusion to draw there, but remember, Elphaba wasn't really wicked. She went through some shit, and Glenda wasn't so good. You know, very, very political, but popular. If you have that stuck in your head, you're welcome. So how are you using your wisdom? And maybe this isn't you. Maybe you're dealing with a witch in your life. Lord knows I do. Lord and lady know I do. So this could be fun. This does feel like a fun read. But remember, shadow work, right? What's the shadow that needs to be embraced and healed? Here we go. Next 4 chakras down: crown, third eye, throat, heart. This is where the alchemy really happens. The shadow work really goes down here. Daughters of the Moon Tarot represent the feminine energy. This is not outside of you. This is inside of you. Your psychological dynamic, your yin, your feminine energy, whatever you want to call it. Please take a nice deep breath. My daughters, from the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, I call upon my goddesses of fire, the power, sign of Sagittarius, powers of the south, mutable fire. Please, what's going on? Heart, throat, third eye, crown for the Sagittarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading. Heart, throat, third eye, crown. They got the witch archetype. In the 8th chakra, it's about being a good witch or a bad witch, about being good at it. What's going on inside of them? Okay, here we go. 7 of Cups. Many different meanings for any tarot card, but in this deck, it might narrow it down a little bit. The 7 of Cups here. The key word on it is jealousy, and my goodness gracious. If you are dealing with jealousy in your life, now, it's not necessarily that, but I'll explain why quickly without doing a 2-hour dissertation on the 7 of Cups, which I could do. If you go back to the Rider-Waite deck, traditional tarot, right? So many decks are based on that. It's those cups in the clouds, right? It's like, oh, right? Now that's a really, really good thing here. But you gotta choose one. And emotionally, if we don't really cut ourselves some slack, here's the shadow work for not having everything that we want emotionally and feeling a way about it, then envy and jealousy pops in. Now, jealousy is a watered down version of envy, if you ask me. Envy is one of the 7 deadly sins, and in the 7 chakras, it's the third eye. So it's a lot about how we see things. People are jealous of me because of the freedom I have, I suspect. I mean, I'm good for my age, but they have no idea the ostracization I went through, the alienation, the rejection that I went through from different tribes and people, being not just a witch, but a gay witch. In other words, I'm doing me, balls to the wall, arrow tips lit and launching, my Saggies, if you get me. So, you know, you're known for your freedom. Right? You're known for your freedom, and understand that people who are in chains, and we're all in chains in some way, shape, or form, most of them of our own making. But don't expect people who are in chains to applaud your wings coming out. Just don't. So really tune into, of all of these things that I feel drawn to, and I want to do, and maybe a lot of feelings about those things, I'm going to wisely focus on one of them to bring into form in some way, shape, or form. Which is tricky for a Sag because you got a whole quiver full of arrows, desires. Changing desires. Let's get you the lower 3 chakras, the masculine energy. from the outside, you from the outside looking in at yourself, you from the inside looking out. The lower three chakras are also about relationships. Root chakras, tribes, groups, circles of people, nationalities. You're in more any association of 3 or more people, you're in a tribe. Second chakra is one-on-one relationship, navel, like an umbilical cord between you and another individual, really every individual in your life, if you look at it that way, as well as it's about money, sex, and power. The third chakra, solar plexus, your relationship to yourself, your honor code, your boundaries, your self-esteem, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't, which grows and changes as we evolve. So let's see what hits the table. Breathe. As I call upon my gods of fire, the sign of Sagittarius, powers of the south, please leave the card in my hand, bright, brilliant ones. What's going on for the Sagittarian collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading, Witch in the 8th, 7 of Cups in the inner emotional options, and possibly jealousy in a general read. There's got to be a spectrum there, but are they willing to face that and get that that's also their own intuition saying what you want is on the way, and you really, really want it? Hang in there with the 6 of Wands on the outer, so a victory here. Very good. Very, very good. That makes me happy that at least on the outside, whatever the challenge is, you bring it into balance. Now, just said about, a quiver of arrows, it's a lot to balance, but the 6 of Wands is the balance, the harmony of fire, hence da-da-da! This is Jason of Jason and the Argonauts, having retrieved the golden fleece. That's the thing he's holding over his head. So you put that on the outer of this on the inner, this could speak of momentum. This could speak of that you've got these things that you want to do, you're in a place of victory, or at least you appear that way. Or the situation that you're in is a victorious one where you are right now. I think you're in a better place to do this wisely and well with that witch archetype in your life in some way, shape, or form, right? That's great. Healing mantra deck, Matt Kahn. From the Khan lineage, Chaka, Madeline, because I'm every woman, it's all in me. We're going to get you a healing mantra to help you do the shadow work here. Play with it, have fun with it, even if it's a womp womp mantra, which they all help. Please take a nice deep breath. And what I love a lot about Sagittarians is they really don't give a fuck what people think about them when it comes to their freedoms, usually, right? Depending on where they are on the lead to gold scale in any given moment. So I call upon the Ascended Masters, General Assembly. This could be about anything, a relationship, money, right? But something maybe that they're looking at manifesting and using this shadow period to clear out and get things ready for that. What's the perfect healing mantra? Make it specific for someone out there, whoever really needs it this full to new. January, February 2022, asking for angelic support. Now look, I know a lot of witches. I've had a long career in witchcraft, so I'm using this specifically for the archetype. You need not be a witch for this reading to resonate. Identify as one. I will say the majority of them work with angels, because angels are not Judeo-Christian technically. There are angels in every culture. You look into it, Google it. Look, they're called different names, but they're all the same things. The bird tribes, the barakas, I think it is. I just don't want to get canceled by saying the wrong word, or the right word in the wrong way, or the wrong word in the right way. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, to ask the angels for angelic support, I'm going to read it from the Bookie Book, the mantra, my angels respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel. Well, you've got emotions going on. This is heart chakra stuff here, though if there is jealousy, envy involved, the third eye is automatically there, but that need not be you, or maybe you are feeling the emotions as a result of other people's jealousy. So this is about asking for the support. It's a really powerful mantra, and you could take out the word angels if you want, right? Like I could paganize this. Not that angels aren't pagan. If pagans are using whatever. Asking for angelic support. See, I could say asking for the gods' support. My gods respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel, which is actually the truth. I'm playing with that for full moon. Breathe. My angels respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel, and I feel fabulous. When asking for angelic support, you are requesting solutions from a higher realm of consciousness. So anything 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. Such a realm of consciousness works in accordance with the free will to help you face your experiences instead of helping you avoid them. So this isn't spiritual bypassing, this isn't escapism, this isn't medicating yourself with a shit ton of metaphysical spiritual practice either. Rather than believe the cause of your feelings must be changed or eliminated, meaning the outside stuff needs to change for you to feel better, it is essential to ask your angels for better ways of viewing the feelings that keep getting triggered, obviously by the outside world. Because each trigger represents a healing, you are more likely to feel the presence of your angels when asking for their help to face your most difficult emotions. And again, we're looking at 7 of Cups here. There might even be some illusion, some confusion, some delusion, although there's another. Delusion tends to be more third eye, just gonna say. I lost my place. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. When asking for the help to your most difficult emotions, in order to access angelic assistance, it is important to be with your feelings so your angels know where support is needed most. In other words, it's not like, please help me avoid that feeling. It's like, no, I'm in this feeling now. Angels, help. That's it. Right? You want to make this part of a full moon deal or, new moon? This is a mantra you could do every day. This mantra is ideal for unraveling the spiritual ego, which will convince you to scrub your chakras with, bleach and a wire brush, right? Overdo the Ho'oponopono, right? Thinking that, that you're doing something wrong. No. This is part of your journey. Giving up patterns of avoidance, as we discussed, and being a better receiver. A better receiver. That's an interesting thing. More the feminine dynamic, which we've got on the inside. But I'm loving this for you. So ask the angels for support. I like that. I'm going to try that tonight for sure. My gods respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel. My pantheons are. That's true on a lot of different levels. Let's keep going. Higher selves of all involved. The whispers of love oracle hath come to perhaps turn to the party. Turniteth the party. 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. If there are other people involved, their higher selves will be pitching in to put this card in my hand as well. Please take a nice deep breath. Card number 5. Oh, for the 5th dimension, as I call upon. That's cool. The higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension above, 8th chakra and above, please. What is the whisper of love for the Sagittarian collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, watching this video, receiving this reading with the Witch in the 8th, 7 of Cups on the inner, 6 of Wands on the outer, asking for angelic support. This full to new, Jan, Feb, 2-2. Physical touch is important. Yeah, I'll hit like on that. Physical touch is important now. It's a general read. This can play itself out in all sorts of different ways. But I'd say the party hath been slightly turned. For some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it, which, tricky times on planet Earth, but if they're in your podcast, you do that. This might also be for you, particularly with asking for angelic support. And I'll be honest with you, I could use a 2-hour hot stone, full body, shiatsu, Swedish sport. You could even Rolf me at this point. I mean, it's amazing that a Muppet came up with its own form of body work. But why not? I mean, if the higher selves are saying there needs to be physical context here, and if this is the, you know, some of that going on, with victory on the outer, I can get it, but maybe you've got options, but maybe I should start asking my angels for support. Which one? No, it's not like that. No, I'm just very picky choosy. I was picky choosy before the pandemic. Virgo. Let's look. The Divine Animals Oracle, right? Because if you're going to do the shadow work with who's working with you. And how many heroes' journeys have dealt with the underworld, the shadow, with some companion, an animal, totem, spirit, vibe. Please take a nice deep breath. Divine Animal Oracle, Stacy DeMarco, the artwork, and what's written in this very thick little potent bookie book is worth owning. Here we go. There we go. As I call upon the collective of these spirit animals and totems for the Sagittarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I'm watching this video, receiving this reading. Witch in the 8th. 7 of Cups on the inner, 6 of Wands on the outer, asking for angelic support with physical touch being important. Of all the cards that could hit the table, then that's important. Who walks with them, who flies with them, who swims with them, who crawls with them, giving them the guidance. That one, and the grace needed to do the shadow work this full to new January 2022. I mean, I doubt I put this in the title. What is the key word? Fear. You got the hyena. Well, welcome to a shadow read. I was like, this looks really good. Now we get the asking for angelic support. The hyena. You got a hiatal hyena. Card number 38. Now, I only read the first part and almost the last part from here. Because, you know, when I hear hyena, I think laughing hyena. And I've never known a Sagittarian where the mutual guffaw factor wasn't extremely high. Like, I have fun times usually with Sagitt crabby asses. That's why I'm allowed to call you that. Because I'm just kidding. Where are you? 36. Oh, 37. These chapters are long. 38. Hyena. Hiatal hyena. Breathe. Fear. Card number 38, hyena, fear. Examine your fears, especially the fear of difference, of the unknown and death. Now, I'm just going to go say there, difference means unique, means sticking out, standing out for sure. And of course, of the fear of the unknown. You got to look at your fear of the unknown and death. There may be an abandonment of something, a belief, a person, a place. Remember that because something is strange doesn't mean that it cannot be beautiful or good. This is right in the Sagittarian center lane. We all have a job to do. We all have our own genius. Be sure you have the correct information to have a truthful understanding. Wow, I mean, that can be in a relationship. That can be in your career. And with 6 of Wands, more than halfway through the minor arcana of Wands of Fire, you'll get there. But you gotta face the shadow. And I mean, literally, it's on the card. Let me get closer. I have pants on. Right, okay, so you see half of it's in color, half of it's sort of in black. It is in black and white, pretty much. Yeah, there's some other colors in there. Right, half the tree is thriving, the other half, you know, dead. So this is a shadow read. A very powerful card. Let's look at the magic, though. This is the longest one we've read in here. Usually it's only a paragraph. Take this in, I would suggest. Breathe. No, I can read that like that. Hyena magic is complex and is a living tradition. The hyena is its own sacred deity, much like the coyote is in Native American tradition, although it is perhaps darker in nature. Right, you're getting Cheech Marin, Lion King. I am. Hyenas are tricksters, boundary riders. You've been out riding fences for so long. And the bringers of mystery, and are important in funerary rituals. That means funerals, if you couldn't catch that. They may be harbingers of death, but they also clear away what is no longer needed. This is shadow read, and it feels like that's going on more on the inside, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'm not getting on the outside. Look at that victory, that this is an external death. In Nigerian traditions, hyena masks were worn to signal the end of rituals, which reflects how hyenas clear up dead things. Well, there you go. Put your carry-on in the overhead compartment. Oh, that's bad as highbrow and lowbrow. Welcome to my channel. I can't help it. My guides are mostly dead Catskill comics. Clear up the dead things, bones and all, and everything is finished. Some societies take this literally, with the Maasai of Africa leaving their dead out to be consumed by hyenas. If a corpse is rejected by a hyena pack, it means social and spiritual disgrace. Maybe that's why clean underwear, I don't know. Grandma has wisdom. For some, hyena magic also extends to the integration and balance of masculine and feminine energies. Fire on the outer, water on the inner, fire on the mountain if you gotta go there. For some, hyena magic also extends to the integration of masculine and feminine energies. I want to make sure I say the Bambara people of Africa enjoy the imagery of the hermaphrodite hyena to signify the transformation of a neophyte into a fully initiated man. News to me, a powerful symbol of the unification of masculine and feminine. All right, so we are talking about really your own chakra dynamic, heart, third eye crown, root, sacrum, solar plexus, as a result of doing this wisely. Don't forget the witch is in there, and come on. A witch is all about being on the outskirts and in the fringes, on the edge and in the avenue. So if you want me, you can find me left of center, making a YouTube video, I don't know. But to use this wisely, to use your love, your wisdom, your power, what you've learned, right? Wisdom, knowledge ain't wisdom. Knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. But you gotta face your fears. That was deep. That was deep. So spot on for a shadow read, though. Like, I can feel some people out there going like, good, okay. And physical touch is important. So they're saying there is a part of this that's in the physical. All right, the hidden blessing. From Lucy Cavendish's Blessed Be, the mystical Celtic blessing cards to enrich and empower. Cavendish. In the alchemy, the lead to gold, it's saying there's a hidden blessing in there. In the lead, the toxic, you do the healing, you take the journey, you do the shadow work. There's gold in them there shadows. So let's see what that is. From the Pantheon of Pantheons. Breathe. As I call upon the pantheon of all pantheons, meaning all traditions, all cultures, all lineages, for the Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sun, watching this video, receiving this reading. I mean gods and angels, and even if there are star seeds involved, for heaven's sake, please, what is the healing the hidden blessing here for my Saggies, with which shooting more for a balance of Glinda and Elphaba there in the 8th. 7 of Cups, we've got that emotional thing in there. Is it envy? Is it jealousy? Or is it just they've got a lot of different feelings and options and a little cloudy and confusion on there, but they are in victory, moving forward with balanced fire on the outer. So they are to ask for angelic support or the divine support, because the divine responds when they are open and authentic about how they feel. That's a nice new way to say that. And physical touch is important. Pat on the back, a hug, a little wham bam, thank you, eternal soul in another body. But there is fear to be faced here. Certainly shadow work, bones, and all. You take that how you want in a general read with that physical touch card. So please, the hidden blessing here for this otherwise really kind of fun full to new Jan Feb 2-2. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Okay, card number 45. A blessing for those who are nearing their final breath. Let's read the blessing. That's the party turner this time around. I'm going to have to find a way of putting all of that in the title because people need to be warned. The trigger warning, right? Card number 43. No, okay. Now look, I always do these blessings full out. So, you know, before I do this, I gotta speak my truth. I was a reverend, a minister, 501c3 tax exempt. I am no longer. I'm retired minister. I'm no longer affiliated with any ministries in that way. I'm done. But as much as I love the baby blessings and baby blessings and weddings, hand fastings, I did a lot of memorials. I sat on deathbed here and there. Wasn't the predominant thing that I did. But as a witch, in the olden days, you could say, we took you from womb to tomb, and that's from a song from the Pretenders, which struck me, a hymn, H-Y-M-N to her, H-E-R. Witches take you from womb to tomb. They brought you into the life as the midwives, and they laid you out at the end, or maybe crossed you over themselves. So if this is a literal witch I am talking to, reach out, get help if you need, if this is that kind of work. However, this could be symbolic, but obviously it depends on what that final breath is about. Ready? Both feet on the floor. Pantheon, put the clearest energy, encode every word, every breath to be in service. Here we go. Card number 43. A blessing for those who are nearing their final breath. A blessing for the dying, for those who are near to passing, and for those who will tend to their passing. We are still in a pandemic. A blessing on your last days, dear friend. A blessing on these precious hours and on the moments of subtle shifts and changes that now seem so infinitely precious. The light dancing on the wall, the soft murmur of loving voices, the caress of hands that honor you as you ready yourself to go into the great unknown. All right, clairaudient download here. This can absolutely be symbolic because of everything else that's on the table here. The actual literal death is certainly a percentage in a general read. Yeah, like say 35% of the people watching it, it's going to be the literal. But I get it. I get it. So take care how you hear this. I'm just reading it from here, but we're getting the guidance to clarify. A blessing for this passing so that it may be honored and respected. and as you wish, may be honored and spoken. In other words, that all of this is honored and respected as you wish. May there be a sense of ease and grace as you move gently from this world to the next, and may all those who love you, this is really long, let you go. May you know that your life was good and enough, and that any regrets you may have are no longer to be dwelt on, for you have passed your wisdom on in 1,000 unknown ways. This could totally be about the ending of something in your life in some way, shape, or form that feels like a death. May your body feel at ease and softly breathe in and out in the presence of those who want to be with you and support you as the gateway into the next world. And the other lives beckon. May whatever faith you find comfort be yours at this time, and may the kindness of others who believe in your goodness be made tangible. May whatever has separated you from loved ones no longer matter, as it all drops away in the final farewells. May unsaid words be understood. Oh, that's a good prayer. May all unhealed parts of you be knitted up with grace, and may anything unforgiven find a blessing in these last moments. You are a beloved one, a child of this entire world, and you were born into this life and have made of this life a blessing for many others. May all of your kindness, your generous moments be remembered, and may your mistakes be understood, and the wisdom of them learned by others, so they need not repeat them for themselves. Know you have lived a good life, a strong life, and it has mattered. No matter how humble you have felt it to be, you have loved and have been loved. You have fallen and risen again. You have journeyed from the first breath to the last, and as you prepare to enter again the great cauldron of unknowing, the womb and the tomb. Never read this card before. She's heard that song. May your crossing be gentle. The veils part, a hand extends to you, and when you are ready, you will go. A blessing on your departure, and know that you shall live on always in the lives of others who shall remember you. And when memory fades, your gifts will live in mysterious ways. Farewell, dear one, and travel well into the unknown, in which you will rest until it is time to come again into life, after life, after life. I get it. Drink from the grail now and know you are eternal. You are nearly there, beloved. Walk now into grace and be the most blessed as you can take the first steps into the great mystery. And collective pantheons, please guide them, guard them, regardless of how this plays out. A blessing for those who are nearing their final breath, using the love, wisdom, and power of the witch, the choices that they make here, of who they want to be, dealing with the emotional options in front of them on the table that they will be victorious with, and they are showing a balance here as they go. But now calling upon the angels, asking the angels for angelic support, their angels responding when they are open and authentic about how they feel, maybe not to anybody else out here, but to them. And that physical touch is important. The contact, the support, no matter how that plays itself out, but there are fears to be faced here. Shadows to be embraced here. And it feels like they are given the support, but they need to call upon it. Because whether this is the last breath of a relationship, a career, a loved one, themselves, an aspect of their lives, no longer there, like maiden to mother or mother to crone, son to father, father to sage, as we all go through rites of passage. Or if this is indeed somebody watching this, who this is about their last breath, let us say clearly that may they be blessed with all that they need. May all of us be blessed with all that we need to remember the wisdom and the truth that we are humans on a hero's journey, but immortal souls at our core. This is not our first time incarnating, and it is not our last. And let that give comfort as can be. And may they certainly be given all that they need to do the shadow work necessary, wisely and well, for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. And I'm not doing the theme music on the end of this. I love you. Don't worry about liking the video, unless you want to. Hope other Sagis find it, though. That's how you do it. Comment if you feel like it. If this is symbolic, if this is literal, and certainly reach out, not just for the angelic support, but for the physical, tangible, which I think is what this card is saying as well. Otherwise, the heaviest read, for sure, of of the series, and you saw I came in arrows blazing for you all. But certainly, if you need my services, links in the description box. And if the support would be helpful to you, I do recommend Patreon. I stream there every day. We talk about the lunar astrology, posting a lot of good stuff. And now on Tuesdays, the witches, the immortals, the gods and the goddesses get little pictures with spells on them. I'm sharing my Book of Shadows stuff, but only on Patreon. So that's it. I love you all. It's a very, very long reading, but I think considering what's on the table, it's how it went to be. So seriously, wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed of this full to new January, February 2022. I love you. Hang in there. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.